Hello and welcome to this month's Tasty Tips. In each Tasty Tips video, I share evidence-based information or delicious recipes to help you make informed decisions, eat balanced, and feel your best. My name is Rachel, and I am a registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator at the Northampton Community Health Center Diabetes Education Program. This Tasty Tips video is part 2 of the vegetable series, and in it I will be sharing some more recipe ideas and tips to help you increase your vegetable intake in a way that you actually enjoy. Off the top, I just want to mention that plain vegetables like frozen peas cooked in the microwave are great if that's what's convenient to you and you enjoy them that way. The purpose of today's video is really all about some other inspiration and ideas to add interest to your vegetables if you're getting sick of having them in this way. Speaking of convenience and vegetables, one really good tip to make sure you get your vegetables in is to make it convenient. So this is an oldie but a goodie, is to batch prep your vegetables. So pick a day of the week or 2 different days of the week to chop up some vegetables and store them in containers in your fridge so they're easy to grab and go or grab and incorporate in your dinner that night. On to some tips to cut broccoli and use everything possible. So for the stem, I trim off the outside portions. You could also use a vegetable peeler for that. And then with the inner portion of the stem that's not as tough, I cut into little circles or sticks, depending what mood I'm in. And then I cut the top portions into trees. The inner parts of the stems are great for soups or stir fries, the tops for whatever you like. And then the peelings of the stems can be used when making soup broths. You can do this for other vegetables as well. Just make sure they're washed really well before cutting. After you put in all this work to prepare your vegetables, don't stick them in a drawer where you can't see them in your fridge. Make sure they're there, and when you open the fridge, you see them, because if they're in the back of the fridge or deep in a drawer, you'll forget about them and they'll end up going bad. I think we have all been there at some point in our lives. And most of us want to try to limit the food waste in our households to save a couple dollars. The second tip for today's video is to roast your vegetables. Roasting vegetables really changes up the texture and taste of your vegetables by adding a depth of flavor and caramelizing the outside of your vegetables. Roasting vegetables are really easy and only take a couple ingredients. Today I'll be walking you through how to roast cauliflower. Now you can do a lot of different vegetables using this same technique, like broccoli, carrots, onions, peppers, tomatoes, and the list goes on and on. When cutting up the vegetable that you choose, just try to make sure the pieces are similar in size so they cook evenly. To roast vegetables, you need 3 ingredients: the vegetables, oil, and then your seasoning. Today I'm using garlic powder and smoked paprika, but you can definitely use a lot of different seasonings. Some of my favorites are cayenne pepper or some herbs like thyme and rosemary. Play around with what you have at home. You want to mix everything together either using your hands or tongs like I did today. Then you want to bake in a preheated oven anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes, depending what vegetable you use. And take it out every 10 to 15 minutes to toss and move it around so no areas get too charred. I usually just roast my vegetables at whatever temperature my oven is already at if I'm making something else, but anywhere from 350 to 450 degrees is what I recommend. The final tip is to drastically change the shape of your vegetable. Changing the shape can completely change your experience while eating the vegetable. Some common shapes that you can find at the grocery store are riced vegetables like riced cauliflower or spiralized vegetables. So the vegetables are cut into noodle shapes. Now, I don't recommend using these vegetables as a meal because that won't be very filling. But if you incorporate them as a part of a meal, like I'm going to show, it can be a really filling and satisfying meal. Here's an example of a balanced meal using these zucchini noodles that I purchased. So here I just have some tomato sauce with half of a pepper that I had left over sitting in the fridge and some cooked ground chicken. To this sauce, I added in the spiralized zucchini. Now, There was a lot of moisture or extra liquid that came out of the zucchini. Because of that, I added some tomato paste, but you could cook the zucchini separately in the microwave or on the stovetop. Finally, I added in some cooked whole grain spaghetti noodles, and dinner was served. Thank you for watching. If you have any nutrition related questions specific to you or your family's health, please call to book a free appointment with a registered dietitian. If you have any diabetes related questions or concerns, please call the same number to book an appointment with a registered nurse or a registered dietitian with the Diabetes Education Program. Finally, if you have any requests for future videos, please comment them down below.